Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought with it being such a unique thing that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. Things like that. And it's just a unique film of him.
He says, I beat you. He says, they say we came in under the dead heat. He says, that's not true because I beat you. And the American said, well, he says, if you like to think so, he says, but I know the real story. He says, I know I clearly won that one. See?
The Madness Comic Network and Comic-Related Madness proudly presents Comic-Related Unboxings from the Madness. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
I haven't done one of these in a while. That I wasn't just doing because I was on a different show at the time. I got something to open. Where did I put that thing? Oh, it's over here. Let me bring her in because she's been. Look, we've been promoting her. She's been part of the madness for a while now. Ms. Katie Shaw. the creator of Dragon Child, and you've seen her out here with the puppets and the plushies and the tree, and yeah, come on, guys. I finally got it.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some surprises in there, Pop, so I'm excited to see how happy you are.
I'm going to be happy if it was just the book in there, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted you to share a little bit of your fulfillment journey, because this was the first time you did Kickstarter. And
yes.
How was it?
It went pretty well. So the comic took a little bit longer to get to me. So I finished everything on the 12th of December, sent everything over Dropbox wise and all that to my printer. And, the turnaround time was still great, but it was, a little bit longer than I was expecting. And so when they arrived, I don't know if you've been paying attention to California weather right now, but it has been absolutely just dumping buckets of water on us, and which is great, but not great for shipping things like comics. So right. The guy that does the printing for me uses FedEx, and when they arrived, there was, a little box that showed up at the front door, and I'm like, this is not the entire order. And luckily, having done business with him in the past, I'm like, okay, because this is FedEx and they're stupid, they're going to take the big boxes and put them in front of the garage as opposed to putting them in front of the front door.
Right.
So they were only out there for a couple minutes, but I, looked out there, and there's, 500 copies of comics in 3 massive boxes. And they were a little bit wet, but the guy's a champ and triple boxes everything. So we have an outlayer, of box, secondary right. box, and then everything's, segmented into another box, 3 per.
Right.
And so everything was perfectly dry and lovely, but I'm glad that I knew to check. That's all I'm going to say. But so I spent that night basically I stopped everything because I've been in con prep because I have a con starting tomorrow. And so
where are you going?
And so where am I going? To Sacramento. So it's Sac Anime, happens twice a year. And this is the Sac Anime Winter. So it's going to be a great show, 3 days long. So Friday through Sunday. And hopefully we don't get rained out, but we'll see.
Yeah, but we want to be able to promote the cons that you're going to. If you get a chance to get the con promoter off to this, or the con runner off to the side for a minute, tell him we love what they're doing. We promote them as well. They just got to let us know ahead of time the dates of their cons, and we will play ads and do stuff for them just like we do for everybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And this is one of like the best run shows that I do. So from, a con management standpoint, it's fantastic.
Right. Those are the best kind. Those are the best kind to promote. The ones they run smooth.
Like some of the people that organize it make sure to go out of their way and stop by, everybody's tables and say, are you having a good day? Is there anything that we can do to help? Those kind of things makes a huge difference to creators like myself. And so always happy to support those people. But so once the comics showed up, of course, first thing you got to do is open up the boxes, see everything, just absolutely just happy beyond all reason, because seeing it, on the screen is one thing, but seeing it printed is always fun.
In your hand, I keep telling people, man, PDFs are cool, but I got to have it in my hand.
Exactly.
I don't own it if it's not in my hands, right?
Yes.
If it's on my phone or on the internet and I can't pay my internet bill, I don't know none of them comics I paid for, right? If I can't pay my phone bill, I don't know none of that stuff anymore. If I bought it,
exactly.
Power goes out, I light a candle, I still got it, right?
That's the damn truth. Yeah. But so I had fun, folding Gemini mailers and, getting everything all ready. I had all my innards, out on my drawing table in, order according to what my spreadsheet was telling me. So I was just going, down the line saying, okay, who's first? Made sure I had all the numbers of everything. So for people who are getting back issues, made sure to pull all the back issues that I needed and have my,
I'm
metallic
glad you
pens out to sign and all that fun stuff.
I'm glad you agreed to do this show for me, because now I can see that I need to replace my sponsors for this layout. I mean, it's great for the overlay, but it doesn't work for the background. I need to put them down at the bottom where London Gothic is, right? And put the rest of them down there so you can see them.
It's all good.
But I hadn't done it. I hadn't done this show in a while, and it was like, so now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, places we need to improve ourselves. Yes.
Hey, no, you learn every time you do something, right?
Yeah.
So, but and the other thing that was fun was knowing that there was going to be, at least a week between when I finished the issue to then when everything would arrive from the printer. I spent that time getting all of my sketches, so the 5x7 sketches for everybody, so that way there wasn't any, time constraint against the comic working on those fulfillment details. Right. So that worked out great. It was exactly the amount of time that I needed, couple days short, basically. Like, I was waiting for maybe 3 days, having no drawings left, being like, all right, let's do con crap instead of working on,
So it sounds like you've had a decent experience with the crowdfunding.
Well, and I will say that part of the reason why it went as smooth as it did was I made sure, leading up to the end of the actual time frame of the Kickstarter, to reach out to everybody and make sure that I nailed down all the fulfillment details. So things like, what everybody's emails were, are they current? Have people, check to verify that things are correct. Making sure that I tracked down all the addresses, because there were a couple people that didn't fill out their surveys, and I tracked them down and got their info.
There always are.
But that's the thing is, you don't really know going into it how much you're going to have to pay attention to that. And I did have a little heads up that was something that I should pay attention to. And so I made sure that I was on it. And like I've been saying, I have a spreadsheet with all the info. Oh, and that's a new stamp. So I had fun designing that, and I think it looks great.
Beautiful. Oh, it's on, and it's down.
Yeah, there's two. So there's a green and a black.
I have been looking very much forward to this, just so you know. You do know. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Oh, am I going to need my knife? Come on now. Oh, all right. We got it. All right. Are y'all ready? Dun, dun. Well, right on the top, there's a note. Is this personal? Should I keep this?
Okay. We'll go for it. I mean, it's
I'm just saying,
nothing that can't be said to the world. Put it that way.
Pops, thank you again for supporting me in my comic, backing Dragon Child's first ever crowdfunding campaign. Well, of course, we promote the heck out of anything you're doing. You know that. I did make the choice to upgrade all of the backer copies of number 8 to have these awesome foil covers. So enjoy your very limited edition Dragon Child number 8 and sketch with Crom and the Ancient One. Oh, you guys, this is going to be badass. I'm just saying, here we go. Oh, Katie.
Is that precious or what?
Oh, we're framing this dude. Check it out, everybody. Let me biggin this up here. Check this out. It is Crom. And just the tip of the nose of the Ancient One.
Right? Yes. I figured I wanted to get a good picture of Crom and, just give an idea of how big she is, because you always give me a hard time on how small Amber is.
That is great.
And the smoke coming out of her nostrils.
The long box. Check it out, everybody. She got Crom. Yeah. Doc, I hope you're watching, dude. That could be the definitive Crom right there. Oh! Thank you so much. That is freaking awesome. We got stickers. Oh, I just got new coffee cups.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I like putting these on my water bottles, if I'm honest.
Ooh, yeah. There you go. We got some demon shot. That might go on the coffee cup. Just saying. But this one's cool. Look at that. The coat of arms. Actually, I think that might have to go on a cup all by itself with nothing else. Just because,
Yeah, well, and the thing
royalty.
that's fun about that one in particular is I did that before starting the current comic journey that I'm on. So that was back in college. And so that's hand ink, and all of that, as opposed to the rest of them are all vector art, which all, get hand drawn before they get vectored. But that one in particular is the only one that's hand inked. So
very nice. Very, very nice. Here you go. We got stickers. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more. We have the print.
And that's been updated to have all 8 of the issues on it.
Yes, there you go.
And some of the puppets.
Very nice. Combine your print with your flyer. One stop printing.
No, exactly, because it's a great way to get out a lot of information in a small little.
You've got to utilize both sides of the paper now too, because paper's too expensive.
Oh heck yes!
Now
it's awful.
I have a problem about that because it doesn't seem like anybody else's paper printing prices have gone up for business cards or anything else, but it seems like if you want a comic book printed, that paper's like worth gold or something.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking advantage of just our industry. Magazines still cheap to print. Newspapers still cheap to print. Everything's still cheap to print except a nice comic book. Right?
Yep. No, I mean, you heard me talk last year about how I had been struggling since 2021 November finding a new printer. And so it's been a journey.
It's beautiful.
And check out the back too.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Hollow foil back. We love it. Dude.
So for each one of the issues, I pick a particular, frame to put on the back.
Flat flap. Y'all see the flat flap? Oh.
But doesn't that look awesome, Pops?
Dude, this is great. This is so good. Now I got to figure out a way to get the rest of them. I can't even read this till I get the rest of them. You know that, right?
No, it's true. I mean, you could read them online, but like you said, it's better to have them in your hand. So
I just don't. I don't sit in this chair to read comics. I sit in this chair to promote them. It's like this is my little office. People send me, or they offer to send me PDFs all the time. I'm like, it's great. I'm not even going to guarantee that I'll ever read it, though.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
know that
because
well,
I'm sitting here and working.
For physical comics, a lot of times I have a stack of things that I've been meaning to read, and I make sure to take the time and lower the pile a little bit, but I keep finding cool stuff and put more things in it, so it's a problem.
I add to the stack all the time. I do whenever the power goes out. Power goes out kind of regular out here in the boonies.
Right. You
lose it every now and then, and it's like I keep some in reserve, so I got something to read when the power goes out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, have to do me a little creative financing and pick up the rest of these. Yes. Very nice, Katie. This is
Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Crom is badass.
Yeah, I was, tracking down all the existing pictures of Crom, and I was trying to, combine them into something that's a bit more my style as well. And so I had fun.
This is great.
I want to say that was the second one that I did. So
this is great. Doc, are you feeling it? He's looking at you, Doc. That's great. And I love you just gave the nose and you gave that's
Oh yeah. Well, and the feet I had fun with as well, and I'm like, does he
I
don't know toes? And I'm like, we're good 4.
I don't know if we've seen too much of Crom's feet, if you want to.
No, exactly. But it's something that those are the type of things that I think about when I'm drawing things is, I want to have the whole creature and figure out what they're all about. So
and you got to remember, we're talking about the little right there.
Mm-hmm.
The little green in her hand. See? Yeah, there you go. That's who it's all about right there.
Absolutely. No, she's the best. Ember's the best.
Good stuff. Katie, killing it. I don't usually run these unboxings like for forever. It's just because I appreciate what you guys do, and I want you to have a chance to talk about the other side of it. You know, after.
Oh, for sure.
What happens when we open them up? Are we happy? You know, are we happy? I'm usually pretty happy. You know, but
well, you never know, and it's the kind of thing where I've been looking at this for quite a long time, and I have my own ideas on how it turned out, but there's nothing quite like seeing what other people think, and so
that's great.
Makes me happy.
And this is the dragon that's talking to Crom.
Yes,
that's the one in the Crom picture. So that's awesome. So cool. Q's been sticking little Croms in everything that he's been drawing lately. It's cracking me up. He did a Punisher the other day, and behind the Punisher, there's a Wanted poster. Who do you think's on the Wanted poster?
Crom.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, guys, you're killing me.
Yeah, no, the part of the story that Dragon Child's in right now is very much, introducing her to this world of, the hidden mythical creatures and all that. Mm-hmm. And so there would definitely be an opportunity to, say, figure out a little, because I have other troll characters. They're quite a bit taller than Crom, but right. To have some variety, that might be fun.
Well, but he's not your nature grown troll. He's an infinite troll.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, no. Have you ever read the book series Monster Hunter International by Laurie Calcaterra?
No, I haven't.
Highly recommend. So the reason I bring it up is they actually have their trolls, and all of them are internet trolls.
Yeah,
and they're hilarious. You would love them.
That's where he was born. That's just how it works. Now, I have to ask for my Star Wars friends that may be watching or watching on the replay, is that Slave 1 or is that an iron? Behind you.
It's an iron.
Okay.
So it's an iron. That is part of the process in making the puppets, is the mouth plates get ironed on. So yeah, it's my room is definitely in a state of chaos right now.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you're constantly working on that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did you get a lot of orders for the puppets off the campaign?
Yes.
See,
and so
you put in some hours on those.
Yes.
So
Yeah, the next couple of months I'm going to be going hard on making puppets because I'm very low on my stock.
Well, I was going to say you might want to get ahead of the game for the next campaign.
It's definitely the way that I do it, but because I was like, all right, I'm putting all of the sewn stuff on the back burner to get the comic finished.
Right.
And it's just the nature of the beast, is you have to switch gears back and forth.
Right.
And so for the next couple of months, like I said, it's going to be all sewing. But then as soon as that's up to a point where I feel like there's enough of a leeway to get going again, right on to issue 9. So
what's your best selling? Which character's your best seller for the puppets?
So for the puppets, it's the red one, who's Ember's brother named Ash.
Okay.
And it's entirely because he's red.
Right. Okay, so what about the big ones?
Honestly, they're tied. They're pretty much neck and neck. So Ember has an advantage there because she existed a couple of years before I started making the Shindaira big ones.
Right.
But I will say that, usually nowadays Ember sells because Shindaira's already been sold. So Shindaira, I would say, is the more popular of the two, but the way that it all works, they're pretty neck and neck.
It's the purple, I'm telling you.
I know. Well, honestly,
that and the Manchu,
it's the whiskers. And at the cons, because I have them in the trees, I put her on the lowest rung so that way, kids and, let's be honest, adults too, can come up and play with her whiskers and all that, and they do that all the time.
All right. Well, I'm glad that things worked out for you. I'm glad you funded. I'm glad you're having fun, fulfilling, and that you want to do it again.
Oh
And
yeah, no, and I'll tell you the fun thing about having a relatively manageable size of shipments because there was it. I would say about half of the people decided to go with digital stuff, and the other half obviously went with printed. And
right.
so because of that, I was able to fit everything in a bunch of like Trader Joe's freezer bags and carry those in with me because again it's been raining, so I wanted to keep everything protected. And so everybody's looking at me in the post office like I'm nuts because I'm walking in with these big bags and I'm like, you have no idea how many comics I've stuffed in here. I could not fit any more than what I already have. So it worked out perfect.
Much success over the weekend at the con. I hope you do great as
Thank you.
always.
Yeah, and it'll be the first time that outside of backers that people will see issue 8, so that's exciting.
Anytime you want to do a on the scene report from any con you're at ever, you hit me up. I'll set you up live right then. Boom. Use your phone. Hi everybody, we're here at here's my setup. Instead of just a picture. If you want to do a live 2-minute, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, hit me up.
Sure.
YouTube
No,
Shorts,
I'll look
baby.
into it. I haven't done, as anything like that yet. So it's from the technical side of things. I'll have to, look into that.
It would just be the same as it. I
Yeah.
send you the link and you get it on your phone and you pop right in and your camera is on you. And I mean, it's just like this, actually. A lot of people do these shows from their phones, so. But I mean, it gives you a chance to show off your setup.
Oh no, absolutely.
All that, and not just a picture. Like I said, it's like, sometimes it's nice to have that salesman appeal. Hey, yo, look what we're doing.
That's true. That's true.
I had a blast when I got to set up the show at the con. It's like, and now I've seen a few people that have gone live from cons. Like Hex was at. God, I don't even remember. It was San Diego. Was it or LA? No, LA a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and Hex was there, and he was cruising around, and we caught his live stream, and he stopped at Drew's booth, and he was hanging out there at Drew's, and Anna, the Star Wars girl, came by, and it was like, oh, this is crazy. This is what I like. That's what I'm trying to get happening is all the networking. So, it's always fun, man. Always. You got something to say from the con, you let me know. We'll make sure you can say it.
Will do, yeah. I mean, I would say, if there's an opportunity that would, visually be the best spectacles, probably Saturday, just because, Fridays tend to be a little bit of a weird day.
Right.
But yeah, look into it for sure.
Yeah. Yep. If you got a minute and nobody's around or there's a whole bunch of people around and say, hey, you guys want to go live with me for a minute?
Yeah. No, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? It's like all about how you present it, man. You could get 20 people, have 20 people standing around looking at your stuff, and you go, hey, you guys, I'm getting ready to go live on the Madness Network for just like 2 minutes. You want to hang out and scream and yell and everything, and they'll be like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Bring the excitement to your table. That's how you do it. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for all this.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'm so glad that you finally have the comic in your hands, that everything arrived safely, and I'm glad you love the sketch.
It's like, as much as I love everything else,
I know.
It's hard not to really, really, really love this more. Now, I will go look at this. I mean, back in the day when I first met you, I looked at a lot of your early stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like talking about how much you were leveling up. But I may actually have to go back and read it so that I can read this.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's because, it's issue 8. There's a lot of stuff that's happened. Yeah. But that being said.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. You go have a good weekend. Get some rest before you got to set up and all that. And
that's a pipe dream, and you know it. I'm going to be working hard all damn day long to get everything ready. And I have 2. So I have 2 dragons to stuff, and that's 3-4 hours a piece. It's going to be a long day. Well, here, let me show you,
Okay.
because it looks hilarious. The
Okay.
state that Shindaira's in right now. You'll find this funny. One sec.
Okay.
When they're in this state, I lovingly call them my dragon skins because they just look ridiculous.
Oh, he's all limp.
So that's the tip of her
Right.
whiskers. It's all hidden in there in her snout, and so she looks redonkulous.
Oh, look.
And then you got the wing here with the wing bone half done, and so it's a process.
I know
honestly,
there's a lot of work goes into those.
Oh yeah. Well, and I have this nice big pocket here for stuffing and also to put the wings through, because inevitably, you have to add the wings last. So my next steps are going to be adding the horns, adding the wings, and then stitching up the back of the neck, because I need to be able to fit my hand in this hole to add all those horns.
Right.
So it's my fingers will be very sore by the end of the day. Let's just put it that way.
So I guess I'm going to have to ask you this now. Did you have experience in making stuff like that before you did the dragons, or was that like something that all came out of your head?
Yeah. So I've always loved stuffed animals, but really I didn't do anything that was anywhere near these before just jumping in like a crazy person. And we're talking like I made, a pillow of a whale that was, designed like a little basic sperm whale in like 6th grade home ec. And then I made a couple like bear shaped, like Beanie Baby style stuffed animals for my sisters for various presents over the years.
Right.
But super just like generic sewing stuff. And so very much this was me going, well, I have all of these stuffed animals that I own. Let's sort of visually take apart some of these, but without physically tearing out their seams and all that, because I don't want to do that to my own babies. And so my husband was like, you're going to take these apart and actually look at the seams, right? And I'm like, nope, not going to do that. So I have a couple of the prototypes and they look ridiculous. And the very first one that I ever made with the real fabric was very lovingly donated to my best friend with her 4 boys. And it's been my test bed as to, can it survive actual play? And the good news is 10 years later, it's still kicking. But the design has improved tenfold since that version. I honestly think that version is hideous. But every single one is a little bit different. So it's one of those where, yes, I make the 2 characters and just keep making them, but I have opinions as to which ones look better. And it's always interesting to sort of see if customers notice the details that I do. And 9 times out of 10, the answer is never, but I know. So like the Ember that was purchased for the Kickstarter, honestly, I think that she has the best face out of any Embers that I've ever made. And so I'm very happy to see her finally go to a home. And, sometimes I'll go through like within a month, like 3 or 4 Shindairas, and you just never know how it's going to happen. So sometimes it'll be months go by, nobody buys a dragon, other times it's a few short weeks and a bunch are out the door. And
would you do me one favor? Put your website link in the private chat so I can drop it everywhere, because
it's just dragonchild.net.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't .com, but it's like as soon as I put Dragonchild in, the only thing I get is the Kickstarter page, and it's like that's So definitely want to make sure people know you can go get all this stuff right now. You don't have to wait till the next campaign. Katie's got it going on full time. You can get a trade of one.
Specifically, here is the store link.
Yeah, and you can get the trade and all that, okay, and get caught up, or you can get it all digitally. It's all available.
Yeah, if you are a digital person, feel free to look it up on either Webtoons or Tapas. It's on both. So feel free to read it there. At this point, issue 8 is not on that, just because I figure I want to get people to read it in print first. But in a couple months, I'll start uploading it too.
Well, see, then there's those people that some people collect. They'll buy the print version, but they'll never take it out the bag. They still read the PDF.
Oh yeah. Well, and I would say that there's, a good portion of people too that will read it, digitally to see if they like it. And then based on that information, they'll go and purchase the physical comic. And I know that, I haven't done that for all my comics, but there's definitely some people that I know I would have never bought the physical comics if I didn't, start finding them digitally first.
Right.
So it's a great option.
It's always great to see you. You let me know anything new you got going on.
Yeah, no, I'll bring my iPad and we'll set something up on Saturday. So.
Cool. Let me know.
Sounds like a plan. I'm glad you love the sketch. That makes me so happy. I was nervous.
I'm already trying to figure out which frame it's going in, because I have a couple of frames that have just crumb art in them.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm going to need one of them great big frames to put all the crumb art in. But
right, make a little collage.
Yeah, there's too much, too many different sizes. It's like I'll never own that many frames. Look at my wall.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 years ago. I went and took Joanne's up on the 60% off framing and got a bunch of my stuff that I'd not had framed for many years, and they're like, "This is a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been a while," because I have a bunch of art prints and stuff that I wanted to keep nice, and so I didn't have it displayed because it was in a sleeve or wherever it was, and so now it's all nice and pretty and behind glass. It's like, yeah, it looks.
I
great.
wait till the spring yard sales and I go around and I buy all them frames. 75 cents, and they're like beautiful frames, like the one my Jedi thing is in right above me, right? It's like a beautiful frame. It's not a Walmart frame or whatever, and it's like, I think I got that one for $2.50, and they're selling the whatever the art was, and it's like, I don't care about that. Take that out.
Yeah, you just want that frame. Yeah. No, there's like nice frames are their own artwork, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that unfortunately is a bit of a dying breed, but for, finding things at, whether it be like a yard sale or whatnot, estate sale, it's a great way to get stuff like that because it's,
there was a dude that used to make custom frames for slabs. And he passed away, and I was like, I haven't seen anybody pick that up.
Yeah.
And start doing that, but they were cool as hell. They'd have the logo for the whatever title the comic was on them.
Yeah.
It'd be black with like foil letters for the title. And, your slab would slide right down in it. They were cool. And it's like, I haven't seen anybody pick anything up like that. I want some that stand up that are, so you can see the back too, because a lot of these wraparound covers, and you put them in a slab, and then what?
Right, you never see the back again.
You never see, it's like even if you display the front of it, you still never see the back. It's like I want comic slab stands, or even for regular comic books, in the kind of slabs that the plastic things that you can buy at the comic store, right?
Well, and I mean, to be honest, when I was, dealing with the packaging for the fulfillment, the fact that, all of the ones that I ordered, for the Kickstarter rewards come, pre-bagged and board. And the unfortunate thing about that is that because the board is there, you can't see the back. Hence, making sure that I had you pull it out and take a look at the back because it's so shiny and nice. But, that's... I don't know if the better option is to maybe like put the board in the middle.
Well, see, now that's what I was going to say. If they made something that protected the integrity of the comic that fit inside the comic as opposed to outside, but then you still have that, I mean, you're still going to have the edge problem.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I mean, you're going to have that anyway. The corners and the edge problem's always going to be there. But if you read the comics, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I read comics. Okay, every now and then, oops, something happens. Well, that one's got a little love added to it. That's all.
To be honest, like if you're really going to be reading the comics, which let's be honest, we all read comics. My first issue of Bone that I ever picked up, which is my absolute favorite diehard, comic, love it forever, was issue 6. And the thing is held together with duct tape because I read it so much. And, that's the kind of thing that, like, that's a testament to how much you love a comic, is that it's just in this absolute ragged state because of how much you've read the thing.
You still read it, yeah. And the other thing is just like, if I slap them all up, how the grandkids going to read them?
Well, and here's the other thing too, is it's with any book. Like, if you're not willing to read it, what's the point? Because like I get the whole collector value thing, but at the same time, I want to read the damn thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want the grandkids to read books.
Yeah.
I don't want them stuck on their phone. I don't want them stuck to their tablets.
Yeah.
I want them to read books, man.
No, the same friend that I told you has the 4 little boys. This year, for Christmas, sent them probably 10 children's books.
Oh yeah, they get books. They all get books from me for everything, for birthday, Christmas, whatever. They get books from Grandpa. They know they're going to get books from Grandpa. Sometimes they're comics. Sometimes they're like, now they're into that. The oldest one, Emma's into those Sweet Valley Twins or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So I got her one of those, right? And the youngest, I got him his first book that isn't all about pictures.
No, it's a step. Honestly,
I mean. And I heard him last night tell him, I read a whole page. I'm like, yeah, 6 years old. I read a whole page. I'm like,
so,
Bone,
the comic, totally got me at the age of 11 to try and read Moby Dick.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, as an 11-year-old, that was painful. But I'm like, I will read it because my favorite comic book character loves this book. I must read it.
Yeah.
And which, these are the things that when you're into reading, you get, the desire to read more and, see these different worlds, and it's great.
I had that 3rd grade teacher that gave me a box of books at the end of the year, just a box of random books, right?
Yeah.
A kid-friendly version of the Trojan War was in there. The Hobbit, all kinds of stuff was in that box. And through that summer, I read a lot of it, and it was all over after that. I've been reading books all my life.
No, it's for a lot of people, it's finding those first couple books that really just inspire them to love it, and then there's no stopping you after that point.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to have more, and it's great. I love it.
And I'm passing that on, like I said. If they get a gift from Grandpa, it's probably books, and they know it, and they expect it, and they enjoy it because
that's important.
It's always been right. Damn grandson's got some comics I ain't got. He's got some stuff I ain't got, and I'm like, what do you got there? I don't. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all going to be theirs anyway.
Yeah.
That's the great part of this.
Sharing the love.
Everything comes through the door. They know it's going to be theirs in the end. Sophia be claiming everything comes through the door with Electra on it. All my Electra art, she's like, that's mine. That's mine. I got the Electra figure on the wall back there. I got the Electra Hot Wheel. I got all this Electra stuff, and it's like, I want to open it. No, you can't. You have to wait. Be yours someday. Leave me alone. Right now, it's mine.
Temporarily in my possession.
Yeah, but they do. They'll see stuff when it comes in the door, and they'll be like, that's mine. Okay. I don't know.
Hey, at least they're interested,
Oh, man.
That's half the battle a lot of times.
A lot of it is people like you, though, okay? Because, we have a friend, Ernest McClendon, who's an artist, and he's into madness, and he drew a picture for each one of them. Did a nice,
Yeah.
for each of the kids and for my son and his wife, and them one for me, and it's like we got his art all over the house. But those kids love that, and of course Sophia had him do Electra. It's like, so the boys both had Ant-Man, so he did one color and one black and white and let them choose which one they wanted. Did Jean Grey for Emma. It's like this kind of stuff, man. People include my family in this and make them feel like they're part of what we're doing, and that just heart melt. Bringing the kids in right, and hell, maybe one of them will want to keep this going after I'm gone.
Yeah. Make it a family.
Yeah, which would be good for all you guys, because somebody's got to keep it going, right?
Absolutely. No, it's because, honestly, when, you started doing all this, it was such a great opportunity for all of us because there wasn't anything else going on. And we were all scrambling, granted, I can only speak for myself, but I know that I was scrambling, trying to figure out, okay, what do I do when I can't go to cons? Because as you know, that's the main thing I do to get my stuff out there. And, it's a great little corner of the internet.
Man, that's what started this. It was never about anything other than, oh my God, what are my friends going to do? Because I had this group full of people like you.
Yeah, who, cons got canceled and we got nowhere to go. I was stuck in our house driving ourselves nuts.
I was just as scared for all you guys as you were, because I know, it's like, I know what it's like when you got to go with no way of making any money, and you got to go full low budget. Been there, lived there, it's no fun. And I saw it a whole bunch of my friends get told you're fired.
Yeah.
Basically, because they took away the workplace from you. It's like, well, shit, we got to work from home now. Let's figure out how we can do this. It was a little teeny tiny group, and it wasn't no giant platform, and it's still not a giant platform, but it's growing.
Yeah, no, and it's consistent, which, in the world of internet media makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So
that's what
thank you.
Brian told me in the beginning. Don't stop, Pop. You stop, they'll forget what you're doing. Just keep doing it. Okay. But no,
everybody's got the attention span of a goldfish.
Well, yeah, he was basically saying, if you quit, you'll become irrelevant, and all the work you've done will be what you've done, not what you're doing.
Exactly.
Just keep doing was basically what he was saying. You got to keep doing, or it's just what you've done. Nobody cares what you've done after a little while goes by. So he encouraged me and motivated me to push and keep trying to figure out different ways to get bigger and to grow and all that. None of that happens if you guys don't come out here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, every part of it is finding out that you exist.
It's a symbiotic relationship between promoters and comic book creators. It really is. We can't do nothing without you, and y'all benefit from what we do.
Exactly.
Everybody
wins.
I have to promote the network. That's how the network grows, so that more people see what you're doing, right? I have to. If I'm not promoting the network, I'm not trying to serve you guys well.
Absolutely.
If I'm not trying to grow, trying to think of a new thing, a new angle, a new show, whatever. If I'm not doing that, then I'm not serving you guys. Not to the best of my ability. I could put a couple hours in a day and fake it. Or I could be in this chair all day promoting and doing the best that I can for you guys and trying to bring new shows to the network and make this thing bigger and bigger. Whether or not I'm putting in the work, I hope isn't the question.
No, we all know.
Bringing
we
a
all
couple more shows to the network here real soon. I don't get a minute to slow down. Max knows what I'm talking about. Max knows he's doing a show on the network now, doing a Dungeons and Dragons gaming show on Fridays, every other Friday. Look, just have fun, people. Just keep having fun. You hit me up tomorrow if you want to do a live, or on Saturday if you want to do a live for sure.
Like I said, I think Saturday is going to be better because at that point, because some people on Friday don't show up.
Right.
which I don't understand, but that's life. And so Saturday's, I think, going to be the better day.
I like the last day. I like the last hour of the last day.
Oh yeah, no. As far as just seeing all of it, absolutely.
No, as far as like having the best chance of getting something for a good price.
That too. For all the deals and such.
You don't want to carry that out to your car. Let me give you this much for it.
Yeah. Well, the people that leave, that show up late and leave early, it's like, what are you doing? You got to be there when it starts, and you stay a little after close, because let's be honest, vendors don't get to necessarily see what's all there until everything's done and over with.
Yep.
So, and you don't want to miss out on those sales. We're here to make money and sell comics.
I was down in Savannah and we did that table. I didn't even get to go run around and find people I knew.
Yeah, no. If I didn't have my husband to help me make sure that, the day goes smoothly, so he helps, set up and tear down and all that, tends to not stay behind the booth for the whole day, because frankly, people think it's his comic, even though it says Katie Shaw and everything. People are dumb. But, so he'll make sure that if I need anything throughout the day, I can, take a break, walk around, and he makes sure,
Right.
Especially if it's a new event that we haven't been to before, be like, all right, have you gone around and seen everything yet? And I'm like, I haven't. So people who do it by themselves, I don't know how they do it, because I know how they do it. They, abandon their table at some point, but
well, hopefully
it doesn't end well.
Hopefully you build one of those, hey man, I got you if you need to
yeah.
go.
Well, no, everybody
need to go
does
with
that,
your neighbor, right?
Yeah. But you kind of learn what their sales pitches are and everything, because you can obviously hear everything that's going on. But yeah, no, make friends with your neighbors. Always a good idea. But
that cracks me up. You want to see something funny? We did one of those Madness Comic Network spots with Dirk Manning. But what I want you to focus on is not him, but the guy sitting in the booth next to him, because you could tell he's cracking. You could tell he's trying not to bust up laughing while Dirk's
right, because he's listening to everything that's going on. Yeah.
So it's just what you're talking about. Everybody hears everybody else's spiel, right?
Yeah. 100%.
But check the guy out in the seat in the next booth behind him. This is great. Watch this.
Hey, everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you, because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
You can see his cheekbones rising as he would smile, right? You can just tell he was busting up. It was hilarious.
He's like, must not look, must not turn and look at the people. That's great.
I mean, I wonder what it's like being in the booth next to Dirk Manning all day as it is, right? It's got to be a laugh after another, but you could tell he was just like cracking up. It was great. It could be because we had to do 2 takes.
That's fair.
So
the guy knows, okay, I've heard this already.
Yeah. And he's waiting to see if you got the last line right.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's confusing. Sometimes it's like even Marmalade gets it wrong. The Comic Related Madness Network. No, the Comic Related Madness is a Facebook group. It's over there. The network is here. Man, I've had so much fun doing this for the last few years. I can't see myself now trying to do anything else. I can't imagine trying to go do a warehouse job and be happy with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mean anything to me. Right? This means something to me. When somebody like you says, you've helped me, I said, that's what I was trying to do. So I appreciate you, and I will always be there to help you promote anything you're doing. And that goes for damn near most everybody else too, and they know it, right?
No, we appreciate it. And, it's like with so many other things in life, it's great to hear it. Validation is something that I don't think enough people take the time to make sure that they do. And so I make sure that that's heard.
I get a lot of people that, I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for all the people that are encouraging me and telling me, yeah, you're helping me, then I didn't feel like I was helping anybody.
No, exactly. You got to hear it.
I get a lot of that. I also get a lot of the other side of it, where I'm trying to take advantage of this person or that person or whatever. And it's like,
yeah, but angry people on the internet are going to always be there, and you just got to know that they got their own problems.
They got to have a voice, but it doesn't always have good content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trying to.
I just don't have time for that.
We're definitely trying to promote good content, good comics, good shows, and right now, I'm really happy with the direction of everything we got going on. I'm happy that people like you come out, join us for the cons, for whatever it is we're doing, and thank you for sharing your fulfillment story with us.
No,
because that is so important, and a lot of people don't understand that end of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's more work than just making the book,
Yeah, it's organization. It's making sure that you dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's, all that stuff you need to do beforehand, so that when the book arrives, it's easy because all the pre-work has been done.
Now go over there to dragonchild.net shop. You can see all the dragons, the puppets, the books, all of it. Go check it out. I wish I could say, I know you're going to love it, but I know I'm going to love it. I know I'm going to love it because I like dragons. I don't care. I probably read every kind of dragon book that's been out there. It's crazy. Can I say? Some things don't leave you,
oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
My love of dragons and high fantasy and stuff like that, I'm taking that shit to the grave with me.
Same.
You have a great night. Go get ready for your con.
Thank you, Pops.
And I will see you
later. And I will
maybe
talk
see
to
you on Saturday.
Mm-hmm,
All right, cool. I'm going to play a couple more commercials from one dragon lady to another dragon lady. Where's my Cindy Kep? There she is.
Bringing you sex, sass, and style. Buckle up and unlock your imagination for a fun adventure with these death-dealing dames. They sail the galaxy in search of spoils. The most dangerous acquisition, and the most fruitful, are the legendary Splinters of Yggdrasil. The Splinters are magical artifacts forged from the Tree of Life that wreak havoc on the universe. The missions are perilous, but the bounty is glorious. Enjoy our hyper-fictional wonderland. How is a pirate ship sailing through space? 'Cause magic. How do they heal so quickly after battle? 'Cause magic. How are they able to communicate through jewelry? 'Cause magic. It's all about the characters. Abo, rough, robotic, ready. Mo, carefree. bringing you sex, sass, and style. Buckle up and unlock your imagination for a fun adventure with these death-dealing dames. They sail the galaxy in search of spoils. The most dangerous acquisition, and the most fruitful, are the legendary Splinters of Yggdrasil. The Splinters are magical artifacts forged from the Tree of Life that wreak havoc on the universe. The missions are perilous, but the bounty is glorious. Enjoy our hyper-fictional wonderland. How is a pirate ship sailing through space? 'Cause magic. How do they heal so quickly after battle? 'Cause magic. How are they able to communicate through jewelry? 'Cause magic. It's all about the characters. Abo, rough, robotic, ready. Mo, carefree, callous, courageous. Mistress Graven, daring, diplomatic, dominating. Betsy, academic, accountable, aristocratic. Nefara, ancient, assured, adrenaline junkie. Bruto, proud, prominent, protective. Fisty, independent, incendiary, invigorating. Roxy, superficial, scarred, secretive. Once you get to know this diverse crew of mythical miscreants, you'll be anxious to find out what trouble they'll get into on the next episode. Go to abogrizzly.com and order both halves of the first episode today.
America's southern border has become a war zone. Human traffickers, drug smugglers, and terrorists flow across the Rio Grande with impunity, secure in the knowledge that no one will stop them. A distant federal government lectures Americans on their privilege while punishing overworked Border Patrol agents who were helpless to stem the tidal wave of invaders and determined migrants. Second-generation Cuban-American Marcos Zamora is a military vet, more patriotic than most Americans. No longer able to ignore the chaos at his doorstep, he acts. Joined by his best friend Gus, they hit the border every night, saving lives while stopping violent drug cartels and other opportunists. The government reacts with fury at Marcos' attempts to preserve American sovereignty, deploying the full might of their enforcement agencies. But Marcos understands that the only thing the rich and powerful fear is bad publicity, and he records every encounter. Whoever he is, this private American must be stopped. Illustrated by Richard Bonk and written by Eisner winner Mike Barron, Private American is his version of Captain America, and maybe a little Punisher, taking part in this ongoing, violent, and very real battle of good versus evil in the war for American sovereignty. Grab your copy at theprivateamerican.com.
We have a secure border, and that is a priority for our administration.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the there was the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands are great.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit CB